Video I'll be going through the entirety of invoice module, all these particular flows, for a review on both improvements and also assets to be migrated. I will mainly be going through the light mode, and I will be reviewing everything. We are in the invoices section inside vendor payments. First, very small thing. The vendor payments needs to be left aligned with purchase orders, etc., and advances and invoices on the secondary navigation. Secondly, the vendor tab in the heading of the table slash list view needs to be left aligned with the vendor to be mapped over here. It's not left aligned. These are not P0 issues. These are more of P1 or P2 issues, but I believe they are very quick fixes, so we can try and do them quickly. One other thing that I noticed was if I clicked on oldest due date, if you look at the column headers, which is invoice date, vendor, invoice number, amount, status, due date, if I switch the sorting order to oldest due date, the order of the columns changes completely and due date actually comes first. This order changing should not happen. You can look and see uh, if this is a uh, if this is a fix that is outside the scope, we can still ignore it, but I would still like to document this as something that we would have to correct. And Going back to this, I will be quickly going to in approval. I can look at all of these in approval, and I can take a look at details view. Details view is loading. um, just a second. So the timeline is taking quite some time to load, and there are some errors on the timeline. The view invoice is loading well. This is how the expected behavior is. So that's okay. One error that I found, or like one problem I found here, is I can click on upload and I can, for example, try and see if I can upload an image. Once I upload it, the uploaded image after getting uploaded tends to vanish sometimes. It's showing up right now, so that's fine. um, and I can see the image as well, which is good. In the timeline, I think there are some timeline shape and timeline spacing issues inside the timeline. Jaise Vaishnavi Pathak, it should be on the timeline, it's not, and this line is too close to the raised by Vijay text over here. This is about the details view. Rest, I think mostly this icon needs to be corrected. Vijay Vi, it seems like it is very shortened, and the aspect ratio is not 1:1 over here, so we can expand this and make it look like a proper circle attached to Vijay. There's no notes attached. This italics text is wrong. I think it has been force italicized in code. Instead, we need to be using the italicized version of the font itself. If we do not have the italicized version of the font, we can straight away go with the non-italicized version of the font, and that would be that would be the way to go about this. Um, then I think show vendor details. The window is correct, and it is showing both of them correctly, so that's okay. So this is about this. Let me go to clear, then I can go to due invoices again. Once I apply the due invoices filter, it is again sort of changing the columns in the list view, which it is not supposed to change. The due date column is switching to the first column, which should not be happening. um, then let's see, let's go to all drafts over here. um, Within drafts, mostly looks fine as of now. If I click on a draft, I see the draft and amount is unknown, draft invoice, and complete discard. Most of the things seem fine. Map to vendor is here. Okay, I guess that's okay. Then let's go through each of these things, give feedback, um, and feature request, get a callback, submit feedback. So this error message has failed, and it's also showing up here. It needs to show on the bottom left corner as a toast message. So that's something. View documentation is opening up a new tab, which is good. User guide had some issues. I think there needs to be a line that connects all of these three dots, which is missing. If I go back to this step, I think there are some spacing issues here. The space between the question and the answer should be a little less, and the space between the CTA and the next item should be a little bit more. Also, there is a little bit of like alignment issue between this circle and the header corresponding to that circle. Same thing with the other circle and headers as well. There is some spacing issue over there. It needs to be vertically center aligned with that particular dot. um, Also, the steps that are not active right now, they need not be bold. Only the current active step can be bold. Then this is again spacing issues, and also two CTAs cannot be primary CTAs. Here, for example, integrate with current accounting tool should be as a primary CTA, and next should be as a secondary CTA with outline. Same thing with setup TDS payments and skip. The skip should be a secondary CTA, and setup TDS payments should be a primary CTA. If I go to integrate with accounting tools, I think this is an asset that we need to think about, like it not necessarily uh, needed to sort of regenerate in light theme, but we need to rethink about this asset, because today the Intuit QuickBooks integration does not exist, and as shown here, it's just Tally and Zoho. Another asset that we need to correct here is the Tally logo. In light mode, it needs to be a dark Tally. Even Zoho has books over here as an asset, which is blending into the background too much, and it needs to be in light mode. The CTAs of select over here need to be secondary CTAs with blue outlines. Once I select it, again Razorpay X logo over here needs to be corrected, so that in light mode this asset looks good. If I click on integrate, I think this is okay. Mostly having trouble. Proceed with com, and redirecting, and this opens the Zoho Books flow. So this looks fine. Let's see if we can do the Tally flow quickly. Again, the asset of Razorpay X on the Tally integration flow. Invite and integrate myself. Oh, okay, this is bad. So the integration guideline for Tally integration is not loading up. This is a P0 issue. This needs to be fixed. um, if I invite the finance team, I think there needs to be some sort of a Tally header over here, which is an asset which is in light mode that we cannot see. There probably is some text also over here, um, of invite your finance team for Tally integration, that is not showing up. I will just gmail.com, and then this is another thing that keeps happening whenever I switch, and even before I've entered a number, it shows an error and invalid phone number. The error message should only show once I have entered something in this, and it is either of the wrong format or the wrong number. So that check needs to be put in place. It is coming after 7 digits or something, but it needs to be coming after the first input is actually given by the user. And I can select finance lead, chartered accountant, and I can send this invite. Something went wrong. Okay, that's fine. Then this is the accounting integration. Then on setup TDS payments, okay, I can auto debit from Yes Bank, and I can enable auto pay, and the OTP would get sent, and that's fine. So I'll close this. I will also go to accounting integrations has been done, auto debit TDS settings. So in auto debit TDS settings, now that I have come to this settings, if you can look at the primary navigation, all the icons have something overlapping onto the right hand side. They will vanish. I don't even want to hover, but basically on the menu left to this, if I hover, then they correct themselves. So if I hover, then it corrects itself, but sometimes it's not like hovering. This looks good. I think there is an error over here in terms of vertical alignment. The first line of the GSTIN should be aligned with the GSTIN. I'll go back. This is TDS setting, then TDS deduction date setting. Here again, the asset of the radio button is not corrected. It should be made to the light theme radio button. The recommended and the current tags today are oversized and they're not vertically aligned with this, so that needs to be corrected. There is probably some sort of a header over here. If there is a header, then we need to change that text into light mode, um, etc. If not, then we can just move the X over here and make this into the modal. Then this example is I'm not sure if this is supposed to be here in dark mode. I'll just quickly verify that once. I hope it is the same thing. Oh, okay. The example is having a background here in the dark mode, as we can see, and that background in the dark mode is helping position it well, which is not coming up in the light mode, or if it is, it's barely visible at all. So the background color for the example needs to be changed over here. Some spacing issues here. Can save and continue. Okay, then we have GST input credit. Again, if you can see the primary navigation, beside each of the icons there's some sort of extra icon or text that's coming that will vanish as soon as I hover. See, now I've hovered over it and it vanishes. Please try and install the tally plugin. This is accounting integration. The GSTIN integration has taken me to the accounting integration. Not sure why. That sounds to be wrong, because I'm talking about GST input credit and it's taking me to um, the accounting integration. So not sure if that's correct. If it means that it's only available in the tally integration, then we'll have to force start the tally integration. Another three assets over here that we need to rethink is the Zoho books and the tally images over here. They need to be redone for light mode, as the white text is not appearing in the light mode. This illustration as well, I think, needs to be redone, because now we don't have a QuickBooks integration. We have Zoho and tally integrations, and that needs to be represented in for the right mode, light mode. There is some spacing issue between this tick mark and the text over here. They need to be vertically center aligned. This particular element over here, um, I think it need not be in the orange reddish background. It can be in the bluish background over here. Then let's come to drafts and I'll clear the drafts. If I go to my invoices, uh, these are my invoices. I can see them as paid, and this add file button and this asset inside the add file, this needs to be redone for light mode. Timeline issues we've talked about. One advance has been detected. This right side panel scroll bar and the scroll position in general of this, why, not sure why there is a scroll over here. There doesn't need to be a scroll. We can actually remove a scroll over here if required. Or vertical position of the bottom sheet should be made sticky over here. The one that you hit to select it just to be able, also the bottom space is more than the top space, and that needs to be equalized, and it needs to be somewhat like this. And then this position of the bottom sheet should be sticky locked, and this top sheet should also be sticky locked, and the scroll should only apply to the elements inside. This don't apply, we can probably remove, and we can just look at this. Let me see. Okay, adjust to payable. Okay, that's fine. Overdue by 642 days, and this I think we've seen mostly, so I'll just quit this. Then let's look at a cancelled invoice. So this invoice has been cancelled, and we've seen that. And show more details. Nothing over here, nothing over here, nothing on cancelled. Then we have paid. If it's a paid invoice, this is okay. This looks good. This payment was paid outside Razor PayX. Group test. Okay, this looks mostly good. Now let's go through my invoices in approval to see if this works, because few invoices found looks like a search result in the this mirror message is wrong. This should be hey, there's no invoices that match your search criteria. You can remove the filter, and you can this can say remove latest applied filter, something like that. Then let's look at due invoices. Okay, and then all drafts, have drafts also, which is good. If I go look at my approvals, then I think there is a loading error over here that we might need to collect, or it might be a backend issue. So oh, an error has occurred. This should not happen. Ideally this page has not been working since the morning, something that we might want to look into. Now let's look at all filters. Date filter, if I put past 30 days apply, I can see that the filter has been applied pretty well, which is good. I'm going to clear that filter. The manually paid can actually be pushed inside payment method as like manually paid. We don't need to have like one separate checkbox over here. This is, I mean, to use an entire line for this is not really good experience. This arrow inside the date picker needs to be vertically central lined here. Invoice status, again the search bar as an asset, scroll bar as an asset needs to be corrected here. TDS category doesn't have a drop down. um, Drop down icon needs to be set there. And let's see, this was also not working when I tried it out earlier, so we can take a look at that as well. Source, email, and vendor paid portal is fine. Invoice status is, I think I can mostly see all the statuses over here. Might be we might need to add reconcile with GR in advance or something, but like outside the scope of this project, I assume. So as you see, if I put TDS category filters, there is some sort of an error that is occurring. We might want to look into this as like a slide P0. That's about the list view, the details view, quickly toggling the okay, 10 has been corrected. um, then let's look at the refresh is looking to be fine. Download reports. So this again error message can be it's not an error message, so it can be done in blue for now, so that's okay. CSV this month, let's do this. So everything seems to be working fine. And email, um, generate report. This space, there might seems to be a little bit of a spacing issue in most of the modals, where the space below the modal header and above the modal header are not same, so we need to correct that. There is a little bit of a background to this entire thing. There is a grayish thing here, not sure why. We can remove that gray and just keep it whatever background that the modal has, and we can just yeah, I think that's a error that we can correct. um, okay, this can this toast should be a green toast, it's not an orange toast. Nothing as an error that has happened over there. um, Now I think we've looked at all the filters. Let's quickly take a look at multiple invoices. um, so let's take these three as images, and okay, the positioning of this is good. File uploaded, reading. um, the header for this can be made this gray maybe, but it's not a P0, it's fine. The asset for uploading can be um, reverted for light mode. It's not a P0 again. I can open the draft from here, which is great. This is looking good, and now all three are uploaded. So yeah, this looks mostly good. Then let's go into integrate with accounting tool is not necessary. Automate accounting. This button has some spacing issues. The spacing before the icon, after the icon, and after this is a little bit off, so we can correct that. If I add an invoice, let's see what happens if I upload an image. Okay, it's unsupported format. um, Remove invoice, and let's use an invoice. Might not be an invoice this, but let's see what it reads. There should be some starting scroller over here, not sure why it's not there, um, but it's okay. So let's try and see how we can fill this. Abhinav is a vendor, GSTIN is there. Okay, I am okay. This mostly looks good, but this background is not visible. We might need to correct it. um, this is one thing that we might need to correct, because if this is last used, this last used or highlight, the highlight should by default be there. If I remove the hover, it should not be removed. Again, not sure if that is something we are doing as a part of the scope right now, but like that is something we should consider. So I'll just select and go into fund account. Okay, it's opening a new flow inside a new flow. Okay, I guess we can live with that. So oh, okay, so what if I want to go back? Okay, hit on back. Okay, ideally one thing that should happen over here is if I, okay, so this is this, okay, so that's why it's happening. So I click on back. Okay, that's fine. This is fine, this is fine. So if it's last used, I'm gonna do this. Zero open POs available. So zero open POs available should not be a red state, because um, if there are zero open POs available, then we can just put this in the blue state and also make this text also just gray or black. It's not an error state, right? Like, so we can just mark it as non-PO invoice and then move forward. Invoice number and date, and invoice date is okay 7th, and due date is 9th, and apply. Cost center, testing, invoice requested by, um, okay, this is fine. This is description. Let me try and see if I can just upload something over here. Internal notes, amount details, 100 and GST. Okay, all percentages are good. I can edit this to be 14 rupees, and TDS I can put as 10. I can edit this to 15 rupees, and okay, this is good. This icon is again misaligned over here. We can look at that. Mostly looks good. This part again, the scroll bar as an asset needs to be corrected. This looks good. This is also good. um, One last look. Okay, again, I think the bottom bar in general, the bottom space should be equal to top space. Don't increase the space on the top, instead just reduce the space on the bottom, so that the bottom space is equal to the top space. If I quickly take a look at edit, go to the right section. If I take a quick look at edit, go to the right section. This is fair. Approvers to be added. I can add approvers. I can add this and save. Okay, I can send for approval. One thing that's not there on this account for me is um, ability to link this to a GRN. So I'm not sure. I can check quickly if I can get this in this account, which I know has GRN, but I'm not sure if light mode exists on this particular demo account. Let's just take a quick look and go back. This does not have light mode, so I'll just switch back into this. um, okay, one other thing is, when I switch back into the account, the light mode setting should be remembered, which it is not remembered. I will still have to go back to light mode and do this. So that's about this. So we have done creation flow, we have done multiple upload, invoice, bulk approval, rejection, modals, pay invoice flow. Let's quickly do those. So let's look at unpaid invoices quickly. Unpaid invoices, and I can pay now. If I hit on pay now, it's going to the right state. Vendor bill, okay, IPO, and I can add this. Oh, notify to, okay, it's an email ID. Interesting. Dot and com title is, okay, this is good. What if I hit on back? So okay, this is also okay, back. uh, so ideally, okay, this is another thing that's slightly surprising, because it should not go here. This is an error, because if I, and again, I don't know why the filter has been removed here. Filter should not be removed. So I already had the unpaid filter, so when I come back, I'm not sure why the filter is being removed. So one error over here is, if I hit on pay now, it's opening the payout flow, which is good. But if I hit on, first of all, when I hover on this, there is a highlight that needs to come on the invoice, so that I know how to go back to the invoice. That hover state is not showing over here. That background needs to show over here, that's not showing. So if I click on this, it's going to an empty invoice, which is wrong. It should go to the actual invoice, which it is not going to. That's a problem. So that's a P0 error. We should correct that. Again, the filter is being removed, as I said. Unpaid, let's try and see if we can pay multiple. So I can pay now. This flow, I am not sure why there is this flow on modal. Still, we should ideally not have the modal. We should have the same thing designed in full screen. I'm not sure why we don't do that. Again, assets over here, debit from RBL X Lite, like, okay, this is fine. This again needs to be corrected. Okay, total amount for 3 payouts, which is okay, but a lot of spacing, round corner issues, and other things in this flow. We should ideally create like a full screen view for this flow as well. If we have not, then we should take that as a backup item. This is a P0 again. This is a problem. So one more thing is, when I click on minus, it selects all. That should not be the interaction. If I click on minus, unselect should happen. If I just click on an empty thing, that is when all the selections need to happen. So that's another thing. Let's look at in approval, and let's quickly try and see if we can approve. Okay, these are not under my approvals, and my approvals is not working. So that's a flow that I haven't been able to, I won't be able to test. This selection criteria is a little bit of a problem. Then we have done creation flow, but like, um, I would write it blocked, because blocked due to non-availability of GRN on the account. I think half of it I've verified, but there is a very important screen that's not there in between, so I'll just mark it as like not done for now. Then we have done invoice approval or rejection. Let's look at in approval. Again, this I'm not sure I have, because this is not working. If I go to my approvals, this list view is mostly giving me invoices that are not in approval, so don't know. This is potentially duplicate, and I click on that, and I'm getting the duplicate invoice alert here. I can show the original. This is working well. um, this mostly looks good. Again, this, I think, I will put these as blocked, mostly because um, non-availability on the account. So I'll just copy this here. Modals, we've mostly done. Pay invoice flow also we've done. So there is a P0 bug over there. So overall, I would say these are some of the top issues with the invoices module. Rest I think seems to be good actually. Most of the things are quite good. Also, I would want to test the GRN, not GRN, GSTIN input credit thing that is not showing up over here, but like again, that's not showing up on this account. Maybe I can just quickly switch to the S2P account, and in dark mode, I will just quickly try and review it. However, this will not include a review for light mode because light mode is not enabled on this. So if we can enable light mode for this MID, that would really help. So if I go here, I can, okay, fetch report. Let's see what happens here. um, if I fetch the report, accounting tool integration, when the payments, I'm not sure what is there to fetch over here. Edit configuration, uh, journal voucher. This is not what we want. So okay, let's quickly look at uh, this is not applicable. So mostly looks good. um, List views I think look quite good now. Okay, there is the three-way match errors. These are the errors that have shown up. The PO is here, the GRN is here. This looks good. I can look at the PO by clicking here, which is good. um, yeah, so this create GRN, billing details. This details italicized is looking off, but most of the other things are fair. um, Link invoice. What happens if I click link invoice? Then some random thing has happened here, and something is there in the search bar. Something seems wrong over there. um, so this can actually have a background like this on both modes. That would probably help a little bit. Awaiting my approval is a filter that I did not see earlier. So not sure what that was about. um, okay, so I think regarding invoices, looks mostly good apart from the couple of p0s that have just been pointed. I think this is how the behavior should be. They should not be going back. There should be a hover state here. If I click on it again here, also it's taking me to a blank invoice. Not sure why. So that needs to be corrected. um, it's a p0. Yeah, so overall invoice list view, that's about it, along with the assets. Hope this helps.